Lauren, and this is my court. This is a very impromptu video. It is exactly 9:42 at nighttime when I was notified that Michele Gumabao has made a response video, and I just have to say, what the heck is going on in the Philippines? Before I talk about this situation, know that a lot of the information and things that I'm going to be talking about reference to a lot of things that went down on Instagram. So if you are looking for my Instagram or our Discord where we talk about pageant stuff, all the links are in the description box below. When I made the reaction video for Miss Universe Philippines, I did it live. And then immediately following me making the reaction, I turned on my phone and was flooded and inundated with a lot of messages of people telling me that there was some controversy going on surrounding the pageant. And immediately after I did my reaction, I went on a live stream on Instagram, which I will be referencing here. So the situation is that once Miss Universe Philippines was announced, there were two contestants that kind of stirred up a bit of controversy. Michele Gumabao herself actually left the scene of the competition and all the after parties and everything. She actually left early, which made a lot of people get a little bit upset because they were seeing her as maybe a sore loser, or that she was very hurt. And then Sandra was on Instagram and she was kind of posting cryptic messages while she was on Instagram. So a lot of people were going off about this, sort of behind the scenes things that were happening that people were gossiping and talking about. Now, Michelle and Sandra both started to get a lot of backlash for their seemingly bad behavior. And even when I was doing the live stream on my Instagram talking to you guys, a lot of people wanted me to be upset at Sandra and at Michelle. And being who I am, and I kind of thought everybody was on the same page as me, so I'm kind of surprised that I have to do this video. But I wasn't about to do that. You guys know that I respect the pageant queens, and I myself am a fan. I'm not going to want to upset them or think anything negative of them. When Michelle seemingly vanished, I knew in my head, I'm like, well, there's many reasons why she could have just left. And even with the whole Sandra thing, Sandra trying to speak out and people were like bashing her on my Instagram, after the live stream following that, I was being told by fans that people were bashing Sandra and I needed to say something, which I did. And I basically told people, there's no reason to be bashing her because we really shouldn't be silencing women if there is something that we need to hear or they need to say. I am willing to hear anyone out in most situations, so I didn't like that people were bashing either of them without really having the full context of the situation. Now, I don't know what's going on in the Philippines. As an American citizen, I am not privy to a lot of the stuff that goes down there, which actually I think is a bonus for me because I can remain completely free and clear of any bias or sort of input that might skew anything that I may think of the competitors. I was not aware that Michelle was getting as much backlash as she was. I was not aware that people were going so hard in on her. I knew that they did it for Sandra, which is why I spoke out in defense of her. I had no idea that Michelle was getting so much backlash, but Michelle came on and did a video kind of trying to clear the air and clear her name and let everybody know what was going on and why she wasn't there. You can go watch Sandra's video. I will link it in the description box below. You can find her video and watch it in its entirety. I think it's around 20 to 30 minutes. But Sandra was letting everyone know the reasons why she left. She had some injuries, and then because of the delay with the pageant, like they filmed it on one day and showed it, afterwards. It wasn't necessarily happening live for them the way it was happening live for us. So they already knew who won and who was crowned before we did. Now, Michelle, having already been through some things during the pageant, she was tired, she was exhausted. And I try to tell people all the time, pageants aren't easy, and especially in the Philippines, you guys expect a lot of your competitors and a lot of your queens. And these girls had already been preparing for months in advance to get here. So of course she's tired. And then she went through some things while she was in the pageant itself. But it became too much pressure for her. And I don't want to take her words from her. You guys can go watch her video, but I'm trying to give like a synopsis. It became too much pressure for her, and I understand where Michelle was coming from, which is why I'm never going to jump on a bandwagon against a queen unless I have valid, provable evidence, because I respect the queens. But you guys, I think don't see them all the time as normal people. Like, some people don't even see me as a normal person, being that they watch me on my YouTube channel. Like, you guys are, I'm sitting here with no makeup on, like I'm supposed to be going to bed. I just put my brother to bed. Like, I am a human being. These women are human beings, you know, in front of the camera. So understanding what all these girls were working towards and working for, like, these are their dreams, these are their life goals that they wanted. Having Michelle sit there and knowing that she didn't win, have to relive the situation and pretend to be happy after you've come so close to something that means so much to you is incredibly hurtful and disheartening. And they're really, and I sympathize with her, because I understand that she needs a recovery period. Not only is she tired, but she's mentally exhausted, she's drained. Like, she came this close to something she wanted so bad, and to have it taken from her, and then to have to pretend like everything's okay and still be there to take pictures, like, it became too much for her, which is what she was saying in the video. Which then she goes on to say, you know, this is why I decided to leave. But then you have all these people bashing her and harassing her, and this is something that, like, really irritates me, because I've gotten the same thing as a YouTuber. This is why I'm very careful with my words on YouTube. I never want to lie as a commentator, but I keep my comments completely focused on the competition itself. I don't really comment on the girls' personal lives, or I do my very best, you know, not to come off too harsh to them, because I respect them. I never want them to feel like they are being bashed. But it's incredibly difficult when you're under a microscope, and then you have these people running with all of their theories about what happened, seemingly making you out to be someone you are not. The internet is a very dangerous place, and I tell everyone who wants to be in any type of public sphere, whether it be the internet or competition or whatever, you have to be prepared for a certain amount of harassment. It's not right, it shouldn't be okay, but there's certain things that come with being a public person. And this is where I can sympathize with Michelle, because I've been through it myself here on the YouTube platform. I've never really done anything without valid reason to do so, but I've had people come after me and my family for absolutely no reason. It's not that I did anything wrong or anything. People went through the trouble of creating fake information on me and my mother, like these absolute lies, which then I had to go through the trouble of making an entire video. And some of you saw the video of me disproving all of these lies. Like, they're just, I mean, guys, they posted a whole email and phone number and a whole bunch of crap about me that was totally false, but I had to go through the trouble of doing it. And for someone who's not like myself, who tends to not be so frazzled and afraid about what other people think, it can be a lot. Michelle, while she's already in this pressure of the competition of a lifetime, she's getting bashed by people who should have been supporting her and rooting for her. And it's kind of, these types of things can deteriorate your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your persona in the world. Even though no one really had valid evidence of what, you know, they assume that she did, they're bashing her online. And Michelle speaks about this bullying complex in her video, which is something that I've done even on my own platform. I've spoken out against the pageant community many times when it comes to a lot of stereotypes and bullying behavior that I've seen. And to see it happen from Filipino fans towards your own queens is incredibly disturbing, because I've said before that you guys are ruthless fans, and part of your ruthlessness is what makes your queens so impeccably amazing during performance. Because of that pressure, they turn into such diamonds. But there has to be a line that is drawn where you give them the respect and space that is needed. Michelle had valid reasons for withdrawing, you know, early. She needed to take care of herself. She needed to attend to herself. And like I said before, I 100% sympathize with what she's going through. People don't understand that though these are people that you love and respect, and you see, even me here on the platform, you guys see me all the time, but behind the scenes, you have no idea what's going on. I have 2 jobs. I am not a full-time YouTuber. I have to take care of my brother, and I have to take care of my grandmother. Like, there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes. My mother's injured, my grandma's going through surgery, and then there's people like, oh my God, you need to put out more videos, and I'm over here with like a crappy computer trying to make it happen and work for you guys, and people are thinking, oh, well, she just doesn't want to put out a video. Oh, well, she just doesn't feel like it, or she's lazy. Like, no, I don't have the capacity to do what you want, even though I want to. Like, I'm not a millionaire, guys, okay? I wish I had a better computer, but I don't. People forget that the people you see online, the people that you root for, the people that you love are human beings that have lives. Now, that's once again something I try not to forget in my commentary of the girls. I know that not everybody sees the videos, but I know some of the girls do see the videos, and I never want them to feel like, oh, I hate them, or I'm just trying to break their spirit. And I wish that some of the more bigger, because I'm not a huge YouTuber, but there were actual legitimate media outlets that were bashing the queens, which I didn't know. A lot of you, thank you very much for coming to Instagram and showing me and telling me and sending me the links. There were legitimate media outlets, reputable magazines, online media places bashing and name calling the queens, which I was not aware of. And I am appalled at that behavior, because if I, as a smaller YouTuber, even have the common sense and the respect and decency to know where the line is with the queens, why don't you? Why don't you? Why are we running with these theories about these women? And then when you get online and you bash them, you're effectively trying to silence them. And you don't know. This is what kills me. Nobody knows what these girls went through. Nobody knows what they were trying to say, but no one wanted to give them the chance to speak. Everybody just seemingly wanted to jump on them. And if that's what you're going to do every time someone tries to tell you something important, no one's ever going to speak out against anything ever. And I applaud Michelle. I applaud her so much for truly being a queen and using that voice. And I am so proud of her. And I wish other queens would be so brave as to go as far as she did, because, and I'm really happy that she came to the realization that being a part of the Miss Universe organization or any pageant isn't necessarily just about the glitzy crown and the gown. It's about the purpose, the meaningful journey, the platform, making a difference. That's the purpose of Miss Universe and really being a true queen. And Michelle came to that realization. She's like, you know what? Maybe it's not my job to wear a crown, which Michelle definitely can compete again, but you may come to the realization that your job is not necessarily to win Miss Universe, but that doesn't mean that you can't make a difference. And she really did make a difference by using her voice. So once again, I applaud her so much. This is a realization I myself had to go through, because even though I'm eligible to continue to compete and I could compete, I sat here and thought to myself, like, I really have all the power that a crowned queen would. Like, I have a platform where I can speak about these issues. I have a platform where I am able to make a difference, where I'm able to talk and lend my voice and make things better. So I don't necessarily need a crown from an organization. I have crowns myself. I have a platform myself. And best thing is, I never have to give it up. Great. I think that it was very insightful for her to come to that realization and to be an example to other queens of speaking out and doing what is right no matter what. And this was a great conversation against bullying. The people that went so far as to bash these girls without just cause, just for them speaking out, you're the problem. When it comes to women voicing their opinions, voicing things that need to be said, this is what makes it so hard for people to lend their voice to meaningful causes, is because they know they're going to get backlash. And not everybody's strong enough to take that. Not everybody's strong enough to take that hit. And I don't want anyone calling Michelle, she's not a sore loser for taking care of herself. Once again, and this is not, I don't want to make it about myself, but I'm identifying with Michelle because I don't want people to think that, oh, this is just her behavior. What she did is a very common behavior. Those of you who know what's going on, if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, if you're in the Discord, you know that I recently, maybe 4 days ago, I went to Oregon for a treasure hunt. And I told you I was going to vlog the experience. I was very excited. I did a whole bunch of studying and I'm like, I'm ready to go, because the purpose of the treasure hunt was to solve a riddle and then find the golden necklace. And I was super excited, right? A lot of you probably were thinking, like, where's the vlog? Are you going to upload it? Like, you stopped talking about it just randomly. It's because what happened in Oregon is I did really well. There was 1,000 people allowed to participate and I came in third. I came in third from 1,000 people in a state that I did not live. I came in third, and you would think that I would be so incredibly proud of myself and happy. And I was really upset. That's the truth. That's what happened. I was so upset when I figured everything out. It took me 2 hours to get to the correct spot, and I was the third person out of 1,000 people. And instead of being proud of the success and the journey that I had went through, I was really upset because I had came this close to my goal and was unable to succeed. And the thing that really burnt me was that it wasn't that I wasn't good enough. It wasn't that I wasn't smart enough. I did everything right. The only reason that I came in third was because someone was closer to the destination than I was. And instead of, I wasn't happy, I left. I did exactly what Michelle did. As soon as I found out I came in third, I was really disheartened and I left. I didn't, wait for other people to find the right spot and congratulate them. I didn't, really want to take pictures or talk to the people around me. I did not want to sightsee in a beautiful place that I was. I immediately got in my car and I drove home, like 300 miles nonstop. Didn't want to speak, didn't want to talk to any. My family wanted to know what happened. I was just like, whatever, I lost, I'm done. That's how I felt, because understanding my situation is much different than Michelle's, because if I am that upset over something, and granted, I prepared so diligently and came this close and the failure killed me. Guys, I'm an overachiever, okay? That's why. I should be proud of third place and I'm not. I'm an overachiever. But if I can be feeling that way over one little thing, with only spending a month of preparation and all the research I did, imagine how Michelle felt with her preparing for an entire year for Miss Universe. She thought about competing for years. She prepared for at least a year. She went through so much to get to the stage, came this close, and then had to go through the torture of pretending like everything was okay when she already knew that she lost. Because I just told you guys my story. I was out. I left. I was just done. I'm upset. I could have been proud of myself, but my overachieving self was like, no, I'm mad. I should have got first place. It's hard. It's hard to put in work for something and come so close, and it's so hard. So I'm just saying, I sympathize with Michelle, and I wish other people had taken the time to sympathize with her as well. She didn't deserve what she got. And everyone who didn't give these women space to speak their truth or to speak what they needed to say, shame on you, and do better. Do better, because silencing women is never what anything's about. That's not the purpose of pageants. Appalling behavior. Thank you so much, Michelle, and I really hope, and this is a video I need to do in the future, I need to do a video about queens speaking out when it's necessary, because I feel like a lot of queens are scared to speak out because they don't want to put their crowns in jeopardy. They don't want to anger any organizations, but I also need to talk about the directors that hold these queens back. Pageants would be much more relevant if these queens were allowed to speak the way that Michelle has spoken. Pageants would be so much more meaningful if these queens, whom are so outspoken and so, intelligent and so articulate, were allowed to express themselves in the way necessary to make actual change. There's so many things that these queens could have spoken out on, and they never did. And I'm talking Miss USA, Miss Universe, and it's not entirely the girls' fault. It's largely the organization, keeping and holding these girls back. But these are the meaningful conversations that we should be getting from our pageant contestants. And even though Michelle is not Miss Universe Philippines, she's still a queen, and she just proved why. So I'm so proud of you, Michelle. Thank you so much for bringing up this internet bullying topic that I've talked about forever, because it drives me insane, okay? It drives me insane. And you guys are lucky that Michelle was nice about it, because the people that bullied me, I made an entire roast video talking about their nonsenses and lies. I'm not as nice as Michelle. But the internet bullying does need to stop, because one day you guys are going to come across someone who's not going to tolerate your nonsense. So lucky you that Michelle is such a nice and, beautiful, wonderful queen. My name is the Sovereign for a reason. I'm not going to be 100% an angel about everything. Michelle, you handled this very nicely, because I would have had some seething words for people who had the audacity to spread rumors, lies, and trivial nonsense with my name. Props to you. I don't have the patience. Anyways, leave your comments in the comment section below about what you think about this entire situation. Have you seen Michelle's video? Like I said, it is linked below. My Instagram, Twitter, and all the other links will also be linked in the description box if you're trying to send me information. The Instagram live, where I did talk about some of this in the moment while it was happening, is still posted on my Instagram. If you go to my IGTV section, it is there. So if you want to see it, it's like an hour long where we were discussing the ongoing matters. But Thank you so much. Thank you for being a loyal court, a good court, a very knowledgeable court. I love all of the courtiers, so thank you so much. Give the video a thumbs up. If you are not one of the courtiers here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I know that I just might look a mess right now, but it's bedtime, so you guys are just, I mean, this is me, but you know that, right? You guys have seen me in all my realness, okay? This should be nothing new. I love you and I'll miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye!